Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel and to our usual monthly upload where we take a look at the best performing players over the past calendar month, which in this case is November of 2021. November was very much a month of transition for FC Barcelona, as it was the month in which Xavi Hernandez took charge of the Barcelona first team as head coach. In total, Barcelona played 5 matches during the month of November, 1 match with Sergi Barjuan as interim manager, and of course the remaining 4 matches with Xavi Hernandez as manager. November just so happened to be the only month during which Barca did not suffer defeat this season, as they registered 3 wins and 2 draws. But enough of that backstory, let's go right ahead and take a look at the players whom I felt were crucial to Barcelona's 5-match unbeaten streak, and they were Memphis, Frenkie de Jong, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Nico Gonzalez, and a mystery player who just so happens to be the player of the month. I'll start by looking at the most controversial of my inclusions, which was Marc-Andre ter Stegen, whose average match rating was 6.82. Now, obviously I'm doing this in December where ter Stegen has had a couple of dodgy performances, and also November saw him have easily the dodgiest performance of his Barca career, probably in the 3-3 draw at Balaidos. The German bounced back from that horrendous display in Galicia though in Barcelona's win at home to Espanyol, as well as playing an important part in the results for the matches against Benfica and Villarreal. Let's of course not forget the match that saw arguably the German shot stopper's best display, as Barcelona beat Dinamo Kiev, keeping a clean sheet thanks largely to ter Stegen making big saves. So, even though December has so far seen some of the worst of Marc-Andre ter Stegen, I believe he is the best candidate with whom to kick off this list of top performers in November. Next up, I want to talk about Frenkie de Jong, who had an average match rating of 7.32. Since signing for Barcelona, the Dutchman has divided opinion, most especially among schoolings. His importance to La Blaugrana's exploits during the month of November, however, cannot be overemphasized, as he played a crucial part in the Catalans' first away victory of the season in La Liga, as he scored the opening goal against Villarreal. He also had a very solid display at Balaidos, despite the disappointing result on the day, and De Jong also had some very solid performances against Benfica and Dinamo Kiev in the Champions League. He remains one of very few midfielders at Barcelona's disposal who are capable of contributing in every phase of play, and as a result, this sometimes leads to him suffering burnout in-game. And while he has at times been guilty of going missing in vital moments, this was never the case for him during November, and as such, he warrants a spot on this list. Next up is one of the youngest players in the Barcelona first team, and it was none other than Nico Gonzalez, who had an average match rating of 7.04. Alongside fellow youngster Gavi, who I will get to talking more about later, Nico has been one of the few bright spots in what has been a torrid season for FC Barcelona. November is the month during which Nico's star has arguably shone brightest though, as the son of Super Depot legend Fran Gonzalez has all but cemented his place in FC Barcelona's starting 11. The youngster pairs the physique and height of Yaya Toure with the first touch and guile of Andres Iniesta. Like seriously, he is exactly the same height as Yaya Toure. Nico came up big for Barca in nearly every game that he played in November. Second half capitulation of Barca at Ceuta after Nico was subbed off is probably the clearest example of how much quality the youngster brings to this team and how important he is to them when they are on and off the ball. Off the ball, he is a master of pressing opponents and winning 50-50 duels, and on it, he offers a valuable outlet to his teammates when Barca come up against teams that press them high, due to him being, well, what the kids call press resistant. And also, he is capable of running with the ball and picking a pass too. But enough about Nico. I could speak forever and ever about Barcelona youngsters, as I've said on numerous occasions, but I'll move on and come up to the penultimate name on my list, which is Memphis, who had an average match rating of 7.32. The stats for Memphis were pretty solid in November: 5 matches played, 3 goals scored, and 4 big chances created. The left-sided inside forward continued to deputize at center forward for Barca, and while there were some matches where his shortcomings were plain for all to see, like the matches against Benfica and Espanyol, the Dutchman still came up big for Barca as he grabbed crucial goals for La Blaugrana in close wins against Villarreal and Espanyol. And by the way, in case you're wondering about these match ratings, I didn't exactly explain this, did I? But I'm taking the average of the match rating that each player had according to sofascore.com. And so just, taking all those 5 matches, you get each of the players' performances in there, then you average out, and this is what you get. Finally, we can come to the final name on my list. But before I reveal who it is, I just wanted to give honorable mentions here to Ronald Araujo, Ansu Fati, Jordi Alba, and Gerard Piqué, all of whom would have made the top 5 of this month. However, I only considered players who started at least 3/4 of matches during the month of November, and so Fati, Araujo, and Piqué did not qualify. Meanwhile, Jordi Alba, while he had a high average rating, as you can see from this little list here, I left him out because I went with Ter Stegen over him, simply because I think Marc-Andre Ter Stegen had bigger moments than Alba in the wins against Dinamo and Espanyol. And also, another player I'm going to mention here is Gavi. A huge shout out to him. He spent all of November playing out of position on either the left wing or the right wing, but despite that, he was still quite consistent and reliable for FC Barcelona. And even though his ratings weren't as high as everybody else's, I think the eye tests he probably nailed it more than anybody else. Alrighty, finally I shall reveal the player of the month, and this time around I went with Barca's Catalan midfield metronome and captain Sergio Busquets. With the return of positional play to FC Barcelona, Sergio Busquets has once again found his unique set of skills at the base of Barca's midfield in full focus and of vital importance. The octopus, I don't really like how it sounds in English, El Pupo, is the conductor at the heart of what Xavi Hernandez is trying to do at Barca, and he showed that even against physical opponents like Benfica, he is still very much capable of exuding calm, grace, and confidence on the ball and dictating the pace of the game, as well as winning the ball high up the pitch. Much like Nico, he too is press resistant, and he also happens to be a genius with the pass, and November saw him put out some of the best displays we have seen from him in Barca colors recently. So, without saying any more, congratulations to the Blaugrana Everything Player of the Month for November 2021, Sergio Busquets. That's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. What were your thoughts on my picks for Player of the Month this time around? Is there anyone you think I left out or anyone I should have left out? Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, and Forza Barca. Like and subscribe. Do not forget to like and subscribe.